Well, our next guest has spent 24 years as an educator prior to discovering that he really needed to confront the fact that he had been a victim of sexual abuse in the Catholic Church. And now he's dedicated a major portion of his life to helping others heal and to prevent further abuse. In light of the latest documents released by the Catholic Church, we've asked Dr. Jaime Romo to come back in and join us this morning. Good to see you this morning.
Thanks.
Good for folks that don't know a little bit about your background, I mean, you are an educator first and foremost.
Yes. And my whole life has been about helping kids through education. And so now I'm pulling together this, really important topic of preventing child sexual abuse and working with people who have that experience. And unfortunately, there are 39 million people in this country who have experienced sexual abuse before their 18th birthday.
Was your memory of this repressed and then came out at some point, and you kind of started to remember what had happened to you when you were younger?
Yes. I mean, some people are conscious of their abuse and they act out in self-destructive ways. I really blocked that. It wasn't a conscious decision until 2002 when all the Boston news came out. That triggered my own experience, and I had no choice about how much came out, and it was just overwhelming. And so since then, it's been a major priority for me.
Now, what do you make of the latest documents that have come out regarding the San Diego Diocese and the revelations there? Have you had a chance to study those?
You know, I've looked at some of them, and what's consistent in the files is that there's a lot of like neutral or very pleasant material in there, letters of commendation and so on. But then every once in a while you'll see one thing, like there's this record of the placements, and you see that people have been moved around from every 3 months, every 6 months, and that is shocking. And so there's all this missing information, like, well, why were they moved? Or there's a reference to a complaint that being false, but then there's no other documents. And so it takes some time, but there's some shocking information there, as well as a lot of questions about what's not there and why it's not there.
So your primary concern is preventing further abuse and then helping victims of abuse heal.
Exactly.
So just for parents that are watching this morning, there are warning signs that you've now been able to pretty much label and document that people need to be watching for, and if these signs crop up, they need to explore them further.
Exactly. I mean, there are some signs with younger kids that may show up physically, and parents in all cases, younger or with older kids as well, need to follow up and have a good line of communication so we can ask kids what they're doing, who they're with, the games they're playing, and so on. And really one of the most noticeable things is just in the body and in the interpersonal reactions, the strong reactions that come up. A lot of kids internalize it physically and change their sleeping and eating habits. You know, anorexia, eating disorders are real common. So we really have to pay attention. And then the other part is having the courage to follow up. Once we see something, once we have a hunch about something, and asking again.
But, I mean, as parents, you don't want to think that it's even a possibility, because it brings up so many issues for parents who love and want to protect their kids, and immediately now their psyche is drawn into this as well, even though they are not the direct victim, they're an indirect victim.
Absolutely.
Because their ability to be good parents has been challenged here as well.
Absolutely. It is a heartbreaking thing for a parent to know that something happened to their kid, and maybe we should have been more vigilant. And so it takes courage. And as difficult as it is, it's much better to intervene early, so that way the child knows that they have support, they are believed, and they can separate themselves from the trauma, because if not, that will be internalized and cause lifelong, physical, interpersonal, emotional problems.
And you put so much of this and so much of your own love and heart into your book, Healing the Sexually Abused Heart. And folks, if you want to explore that as a victim, or if you know somebody who has been a victim, it's a great place to start with Dr. Romo's book, Healing the Sexually Abused Heart. And we're flat out of time, but I did want to mention, too, that you travel all over the country, and you're getting great response from churches, from synagogues, from various religious organizations around the country as you go talk to them and lecture about making those environments safer for kids. So there is an openness that's beginning to happen here.
Well, it is time. It is a silent epidemic, and we have to face this, and the sooner and the more together we do that, the better.
All right, Dr. Jaime Romo, it's always good to see you.
Thanks very much.
Thanks so much for coming in. All right, for more information, you go to san diego6.com, just click on Hot Topics.